All right. We are live. You gotta let me know. Can you hear the music? Is it too loud? I need to turn it up. Just let me know. Okay, so today, welcome to Sketch Grind. I am Austin, and let me go ahead and post the Facebook group here in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so here's a link to the Facebook group. Today we are going to be drawing, sketching together, getting better, and you can post your work in the Sketch Grind Facebook group or use hashtag Sketch Grind on Instagram, and improve with each other as we go along. And it's gonna be fun. So today's prompt is the king of blank. It could be whatever you want. The king of trash cans, the king of water bottles, the king of dinosaurs, king of unicorns, whatever you want to do. So we're going to start with a 10-minute warm-up here to get us going. And let's go ahead and jump in. I got a question. What would be a good size for my iPad Air 1st Gen? I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm not sure that you can get a pressure sensitive stylus, which is really what you are going to want if you're going to be drawing. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Adonit is one company, and there's Pencil 53 or Pencil by 53 or something like that. I don't know if they work on 1st Gen, but I know those are other pressure sensitive styluses made for iPad, but you'll have to I don't know. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you. I only use iPad Pro. This is a weird song. All right. Just checking here in the chat. All right, 10 minutes is up. What's the best thing to learn for beginner designer with okay drawing skills or even sketch out? I don't know what you mean by designer, like industrial designer, what like graphic designer. Try and be a little bit more specific. Hey, you know what, Otto? Gotta make sure this is non-negotiable with yourself, man. Just grab a piece of paper and pencil, something, anything. All right. King of something. I had some ideas, but I don't know if I still want to go with them or not. Does anyone have any suggestions of what I should draw king of what? Trying to think here. I'm going to do the King of Frogs. Unless anyone has a better suggestion in the chat. All right, let's see. Yep, the prompt is the King of Blank. Whatever you want to fit in there. You can always also check in the description of the video. I always post the prompt in there. I want him to have some sort of like horns that maybe sort of resemble like a crown, and he's also um, I'm gonna have him be like super huge. All right. Are there any specific books you can recommend for learning the forms of creatures, animals? Also, where do you get your references from before you memorize them? Um, yeah, I would recommend um a really great one. If you watched my I talked about it in my video I did on how to draw animals. I would go check that out. That will help. But the name of the book, I actually have it right here, is Animal Anatomy for Artists: The Elements of Form by Elliot Goldfinger. Um, that's a really great book. That's where I learned a lot of it, where I studied. And then there's another one. It's on my shelf. Um, I'm not sure where it is right now. Um, but the main one is that one, the Animal Anatomy for Artists, is a really good place to start. Um, and then where I get my references from before I memorize them, I go to the zoo and draw. I also, oh, loud motorcycle outside. I'd go to the. I want music that doesn't have words. Sorry, 1 second. Um, I would go to the zoo or the Natural History Museum, and also Pinterest. Honestly, is one of the best places I think to find really good reference for stuff. If you look on if you go on Pinterest, you can find me and see all the reference I use. I have a big pin board with tons of reference. So if you feel like you're having a hard time finding reference, you can totally feel free to go check that out. All right. Is it harder to draw on iPad than on real paper? I don't think so. I don't know. Other people might have a different opinion, but I don't really think it's any harder, personally. I mean, it does take getting used to, but I don't think it's necessarily harder. It's kind of like I don't necessarily think that roller skating is harder than riding a bike. You just have to get used to each of them differently. Can you respond me, please? I don't know what that means. Sorry. Unless you're talking about is it harder to draw on paper than an iPad? Uh, yeah, I answered that one already. Sorry. Oh man, you have really good stuff on Pinterest. I mean, thanks. I guess I mean, I didn't really do it, but yeah. I mean, that's my collection of reference. So, do you have the 12 inch or the 10.5 Pro? I wish I got the 12. Yes, I do have the 12 inch, and yeah, I'm really glad. Um, makes it. I think it's a lot easier to draw um, on the 12 than on the 5, in my opinion. All right, so we have this toad. He's freaking huge. What can we do to make him seem kingly? Is the question. know what? I think to be sharp than teeth like that, honestly. Whoa, whoa, whoa. King of frogs, not the queen of frogs here. We'll do the queen of something tomorrow. I don't know. What do you guys think of the crown? What should I do? Thanks, Anna. Make some houses or pillars nearby. Yeah, I drew these little people down here. I'd probably define them a little more, but yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna put like some other stuff around that you can tell, like trees and whatnot. But in the meanwhile, the crown. I want to figure out the crown. I'm not really feeling what I got here, but I do want something. All right, we're about a half hour left. Still be a lot easier to draw digitally after you get used to things. You can switch brush sizes, pencil sizes, colors, undo, and all that, which you don't have paper, at least tedious. Yeah, that's a good point. Willow leaves or lily pads. How about some pompous, what was that, 11th century style crown? I thought about that actually. Um, yeah, I thought about that, but I think I want to keep it like more mystical than, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this instead of like the cartoony sort of thing. But let's go ahead and make a new layer here. Are you using webcam? No, I don't know what webcam is. Maybe you meant Wacom? Or maybe webcam is just some app or streaming thing I don't know about. But either way, I'm not using Wacom and I'm not using webcam. I'm not really liking any of this cross hatching and shading. So I'm going to do all the time I just spent working on it. Do you have tips to practice precision with lines? Yeah, so what I would do if I were you is practice drawing from the shoulder or from the elbow instead of from the wrist. And um, do like just draw as straight of a line as you can over and over and over again, and try and make them longer and longer and as like identical as possible, as well as take a piece of paper, draw a bunch of points on it like this, and then draw straight lines from one point to the other, and try and do it without a rule. Well, don't use a ruler else it won't work, and try and get them as straight as possible, and make sure, like I said, you're drawing from the elbow or from the shoulder to get those lines. That's what I would do. All right. When I sketch, I start with basic shapes and add more detail after. But for some reason, my brain just can't put things in the right when I look at something. It's always off. It's so annoying. I'm gonna guess then that probably it's not quite right then in your basic rough step shape. I would keep working in that phase a little bit longer, and you can flip your canvas, especially if you're working digitally. If you're working traditionally, you can go look in a mirror and flip it around. But yeah, keep working in that stage until it looks pretty good. And then on top of that, I would say um, draw from reference. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Study a lot of reference photos and things like that. That's going to help quite a bit if you start doing those things. That's what I would recommend. Really, it's so annoying to hear all over and over again, and it's probably not very exciting, but drawing from reference really is the best way to get your drawings looking how you want. And I know it's not fun, but hours and hours and hours. If you haven't done that, you need to I would make that your top priority in your art, is to start building up a visual library by drawing hours and hours and hours worth of reference. I really should probably, if I want them to feel huge, should have a lot thinner line work for the frog so that he looks further back. But things to remember for next time, since we're run out of time here. All right. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of stuff in the chat. There's a book called Your Artist's Brain. Teaches observational drawing. I think this man is drawing a magic frog. Can we hit 20 people in the chat? All right. Thanks, Dylan. When I stopped using reference, I couldn't draw the same. Makes sense. Yep. Makes a big difference. We need 2 more people for ultimate hype. Put trees on the frog as well, like vegetation around and on it. Oh, you read my mind. Um, yeah, I think we're about done for today. Kind of want to paint this one because it's so cool. All right. All right. I'm just going to lighten up a few of these real dark lines here. Can make them feel a little bit more pushed back. I made it a little bit too light. All right. That's where we're going to call it. And because I have such a bad habit of not actually finishing when I say I'm finishing, I'm putting my pencil down. We're done. To make it look bigger, but you did it. Then I wrote it exactly. All right. Or the book you recommended. Awesome, dude. I think that'll help you a lot with your progress. Yeah, post your stuff. Show us as you do the studies and stuff. All right. Well, it's been fun, guys. I enjoyed today's. I think it turned out pretty good. Might paint it. Seems like this one would make a good painting, but man, there's so many to paint. But anyways, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Same time tomorrow, same place, and the prompt is going to be the queen of blank. So this one's the king. Tomorrow's going to be the queen. So one last comment. Let's say I want to improve my drawing skills and I started with tiger head. Would you suggest keep doing them until I get it down and then move on to the next animal? I would suggest, if you really want to learn how to draw tigers, yeah, draw tiger heads. But you want to start out with more fundamental basic stuff like basic general anatomy, form, the structure, things like that, and then start drawing tiger heads. But if all you want to draw is tiger heads, then yeah, just draw a bunch of tiger heads. You'll get really good at it, and it will bleed over a little bit into some other things. But I would start with a more fundamental basis. Otherwise, you'll end up being like, yeah, I mean, like, those people who they can't actually read music, they can't play the piano, but they can play like one song on the piano that they memorized. It would be like the same thing. I mean, you could draw that one thing, but you couldn't really draw well outside of that. So I would start with the fundamentals. But that's it for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one.